One love to the humble. One love to the humble. One love to the humble. Grace and peace be multiplied unto you. You know, I wanted to make this video, right, because of some of the comments that I be seeing on here. And not that I gotta, I don't have to explain myself to everybody, but I like to be transparent. You know what I'm saying? I like people to understand what's going on and what it is that I'm doing. Because what I'm doing, it ain't the normal way that you would see black people doing, right? What I'm doing is outside the norm. Because these circumstances that we're in calls for us to be outside the norm. We can't do things like it's been done for the last 40, 50 years. That is over with, man. And we keep holding on to that and we keep moving that way. And every time I say something, make a video about something like that, it gets people to understand. I mean, I know some people will understand, some people won't, but we need more people to understand. So since it's Black History Month, I want to take this right here, this video, to help you understand me. That's what this is about. I know everybody won't get this video. I know they won't. But I want to share something about. I want to get a little more personal about myself, because I don't think a lot of people understand where I'm coming from. And I wish the people that made the comments they make would be able to see this video and actually stay to the end of the video. I know it's hard with so many things coming at you these days. It's hard for your attention to stay focused on one thing for a long period of time. That's one of the things of this new social media era. You got to be exciting. You got to be all these things for people to keep people's attention genuinely. But I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to make comedy. I'm not here to do any of that stuff. What I'm doing to me is very serious to me. Regardless of how you may personally feel about it, this is very serious to me because I am black. I have black children. You know what I'm saying? This is serious. They got to grow up in this. Their children got to grow up in this. And I want more people to be understanding how we need to be changing versus staying the same. And we've been doing things the same way for too long. This is my personal feelings on this. I watch this stuff. I'm not just talking to be talking or saying something to be saying it. This is genuinely how I personally see the world, man. And for those who don't see it, I'm trying to show you what you don't see, because I used to think just like you. And I'm probably one of the ones who was more of a into this Black Power stuff than anybody that's maybe watching this video. Some of you may be more than me, but a lot of you who comment, I don't think you was deeply into it as I am. I think you just upset about some of the things I say and the way I say them, because you used to a certain narrative. Look, this is no longer 1960, 70, 80, 90s. We deep into the 2000s now. I mean, we're not deep into it. 2000 got a lot more ways to go, but you know what I mean. We well into a whole new way of doing things now. We got social media. We got all these different things going on now. Times have not changed. Times have changed. If you're around my age, you're Generation X. We are no longer relevant to these young 21, 20-year-olds. How do we get relevant to them? We can't do what we've been doing and thinking that they're going to just take the torch and they're going to start doing what we've been doing. We can't even train them to do what we did, because what we did in the 70s, 80s, and 90s ain't what's going to work for them in this new way of doing stuff. We lead them down the wrong path. We don't care about their future if we're going to keep doing things the same way. It has to be a new plan of action to take place if you want to see black people become better, if you want to see them rise. This old way we used to do it, it's not going to cut it. I would say it was up to what I personally felt, I wouldn't be saying this. But I know what's better for the next generation. I'm already thinking about them. And we ain't doing them no justice by not changing. We got to change, man. We're doing the exact same thing they was doing in 1960, right now in 2025. We're doing the same things they was doing back then, but yet we think that somehow things are going to change. Look around you. Ain't nothing like it was in the 70s. Ain't nothing like it was in the 80s, and nothing like it was in the 90s. it ain't even the same as it was in the early 2000s. We 25 years into 2000. If you had a kid that was born in 2000, they 25 years old today, or about to be. Think about that. Your kid is now the age you was back then. You 25 years older yourself. And we still think that we can do the same things. We can't. Now listen, this is me. I come from a different time frame. I come from an era of different ways of thinking and different ways of doing things. That's the era I come from. And I want to show you something that I have. I still got a lot of these, not a lot, but I still got a few books over here that the way I used to think and way I used to read. And I still every now and then check them out. And I want to show you something. See this book right here. See this book? Look at this book. It's the autobiography of Malcolm X. This book right here, when I bought this book, I read this book years ago. And this book is powerful for a young black male. Because you know, you hear the stories about Malcolm X, but you don't really, you got to see this. You got to read this book. Half you ain't never read this book before. You probably don't even know this book exists. But this is the type of stuff I was on. This is how I was living. Because see, when I was coming up in the 80s and 90s, it was all about this kind of stuff right here. It was about black power. It was about anti-everything. If it wasn't about being black, wearing the X, we was wearing hats. They had clothes designed strictly like this. We had the hats with the X on them. We had the shirts with the X on them. That was representing Malcolm X. We had the African medallions. We weren't wearing no gold chains and all that like these rappers wearing today. The rappers when I was coming up was wearing African medallions. Then you had your LL Cool J, your Rakims. They had the Dookie rope chains, but that wasn't a trend. That wasn't like a. Even though we saw that, nobody was trying to really live like that. Most of the people from where I was from, in the poor neighborhoods, we was rocking that. That's what we stood for. Most all people that was black back then was like on this certain wavelength, the certain music we all listened to. We wasn't about to flash, because if you go back in that time, look at the rappers back then. They dressed like regular everyday people, unlike the rappers today. Everybody got on designer. That's the thing now. The rappers wear designer, the people follow. But when I came up, we was strictly about the word, and the rappers was putting this in their raps. That's me. This is where I come from. See, books like this, Message to the Black Man by Message to the Black Man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is the stuff I was looking at. I still got bookmarks in here. See this right here? This was in there. This was in my book. Look. This was October 12th. This was October 14th, 2012. Look at that. At the Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, because I'm from North Carolina. Look at this. This is 2012. It was the Holy Day of Atonement, 17th anniversary of the historic Million Man March. So, you know, when you're talking about, as a matter of fact, I still got some bookmarks in here. Some highlights. I'm just telling you, I'm not saying you gotta become a Muslim or nothing like that, but I'm just saying that these books got some good information in it. You see what I'm saying? This is who I am. So when you come up here talking about me and talking like you don't think I'm for the people, I'm more for the people. I've been more for the people. I just know that we gotta do things differently now. We can't do what we've been doing thinking that we're gonna get the same results. This stuff right here got good information in it, but it's still some changes that gotta be made. It's still some things that gotta be done very differently. Look at this right here. I had everything. Look at this, bro. What you know about this? Supreme wisdom. What you know about that? What you know about this? Supreme lessons. man, woman, child, 5%ers, the gods and the earth. What you know about that? You know what I'm saying? The supreme wisdom, lessons of Master W.D. Farad Muhammad and the most honored Elijah Muhammad and the lost and found nation of Islam in North America. Original gods and earth, tribe, nation, Shabazz Allah. What you know about this? What you know about these? Look, what you know about these books? You ever read this before? When you come up here talking to me about black and who's down for black and whatever the case may be, do you understand how deep I was into this? And this is just a few books. This is just a few things I got more, and I just do more. This just a few that you don't really understand about me. I'm just giving different ways to do it. We can't do what we've been doing. That's the whole reason why I do what I'm doing like this. That's why I talk against the things that we used to do. That's why I don't baby you up. That's why I'm not giving you this feel-good stuff. We done had enough of feel-good. Feel-good ain't done nothing to us. I could get up here and I could preach a heck of a talk to you. I can give you a heck of a speech dissing the white people. I can give you a heck of a speech about black-on-black crime or police brutality. I can get you fired up and riled up like nobody else can. But what is that going to do for you when you leave? What is that going to do for you when you turn off this video? What is it going to do for you? And most of y'all that I looked at my analytics about my age, you got to go out here and tell these young people that we can't do that no more. That we got to get into what they doing and figure out what's going on in their world to change it. We can no longer do this. Why I'm doing this, everything I can to say, to go against what we've been doing. Because we can't do that same stuff no more. It ain't going to work in this new way. It ain't worked yet. So what makes you think it's going to start working now? See this book right here? This book by Dick Gregory. You remember the late, great Dick Gregory? Dick Gregory. This book right here. See the name of it? I know it's probably backwards on your screen. Nigger. Dick Gregory. It's the autobiography of Dick Gregory. Look at his story. He wasn't just an activist. Most people don't know that he was a comedian first. Comedian become activist. Check it out. I got bookmarks still in that. Check this out. You want to know like what's going on with in the music industry and in all these high power positions with black people and the relationship with Jewish people? Check this book out right here. The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, written by the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Check this book out. It got footnotes, everything in it. A lot of good information in it. Right? You can write notes in the book. It got everything in here. Well, let me rephrase that. I need to rephrase that. It's not. It's not that it's written by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The research department of the Nation of Islam put this book together, and that's what they did. The Nation of Islam research group put this book together. But the reason why I got this book was because of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That was what that was about. So I misspoke. But these are all the things that I was into. This book is pretty decent. I folded it up so many times. And then I started reading this book right here, Powernomics, right? The National Plan to Empower Black America. Powernomics, the National Plan to Empower Black America. This book was written by Dr. Claude Anderson. This book got a whole lot of information in it about how it's a plan for the National Plan to Empower Black people, Black America. Then I started reading this book. What I come to realize is we can't do any of that other stuff that we've been doing in order to do this. It don't work. It ain't gonna go hand in hand. That's who I am. That's what I'm about. And that's just a little bit. There's more to it than that. Very dynamic, very unique type of person. You ain't gonna find me being one way. I'm not one way, but I will be transparent with you. And I will be authentic with you. And I will be vulnerable with you, like I shared about my injury. I'm still going through that. This is what I'm on right now. This walker, man. This is what I use to get around right now. This. See that? You can't hardly. This is what I'm using to walk on. I can't even walk right now. I've been on this thing for over a month. I go to therapy twice a week. Then I gotta also do therapy on my own. And I'm walking on this thing here. I got things I had like not only do I got this walker, I had to get other things put in my downstairs and upstairs bathroom just so I could use it. You know what I'm saying? I got all these different gadgets and stuff that I gotta use now. Man, listen, I am all about what changing the lives of black people. I am not here to hurt black people or down black people. We got this bad thing where when you're not agreeing with what we normally been doing and you talk outside the box, somehow you're downing black people. See, that's the curse that's been put on us. That there's nothing you can do unless you stick with the same old routine. You're going to be considered downing black people. You can't bring up logical, reasonable things because that's talking down. If I tell you the truth about you, that's talking down. How do we get there? How do we get to the point where we can't be honest with each other? All we want to do is hear the feel-good stuff. See, I can easily do that, and I guarantee you if I did do that, I would have about 5,000 followers overnight. I get like 5,000 subscribers overnight if I switched up my narrative and start telling people the feel-good stuff. If I just start telling all the men, yeah, you wrong, they wrong for not hiring you. Yeah, you know what, you a black man, they don't want to give you nothing. Yeah, you know what, it's their fault why you can't get hired. You know, you the best of the best. You the top of the everything. Just hyped your ego up. And then I went and told all the women, oh, y'all the beautiful black queens. And I did all these things to make them feel good and not point out that they was wrong. Overnight, I would be a sensation. Because that's what we want to hear. We don't want no truth. See, when people tell you the truth, you gotta make a choice. And we don't want to make no choices. See, because truth gonna do one or two things. It's gonna break you or it's gonna make you better. And with us, we don't want to hear the truth because it means we gotta do something. And we shouldn't have to do nothing. That's how we feel. I should have to change. Because they owe me something. They don't owe you nothing. You wasn't here doing slavery. See, that right there will trigger somebody. They don't owe you no reparations. You wasn't here doing slavery. You ain't do no work. Well, my ancestors did. You ain't your ancestors. See, that's another flaw. This ancestor worship about what ancestors did. You ain't do what they did. You ain't cut from the same cloth as they cut from. Because you can't handle nothing. What they handle is you can't handle. It used to be this thing going around talking about we are not our ancestors. You sure ain't. You sure ain't your ancestors because you would get your ass whooped. Excuse my language. I think it's probably the first time I ever said a cuss word on here. But I'm not changing it. No, you ain't your ancestors. You sure ain't. Your ancestors were stronger and more resilient than you are. You come up here on my post and try to find excuses. Every time there's something done to a black person, it's racist. No, people don't even know what the reason why that this happened to them. They just automatically say it's racist, especially when a white person do it. No, it's only racist when a white person do it. A black person will do the same thing and nothing is said. This is the conditioning that we're in. And it's sickening because we can never grow as a race if this is our mindset. This is our thought process. We ain't going nowhere like this. I'm just letting you know who I am. I am not with the old ways anymore. If you want to stick with the old ways, you can stay where you at. We need some new thinkers, some new ideas, and some new ways to move forward in 2025 and beyond. Because this old way that we've been doing things ain't working. This old mindset ain't working. These old people my age still out here trying to hustle and still out here running this game on black people. These so-called leaders. They washed up. It's over for them. We need some new ways of thinking going forward for the black race, or else I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't gonna be no black race if we don't make some serious changes and stop trying to down somebody. And if next time you ask me what am I doing, and I tell you what I'm doing, and you tell me, oh, the local drug dealer can do that. Oh yeah, this is what so I do ask me, hey, what do you do for the community? See, whenever you doing something like what I'm doing, there's gonna be a black person that's gonna ask you, what are you doing for the community? They not doing anything now, but they're gonna ask you what you doing, and then you tell them what you're doing. Like I told a dude, I was giving stuff to little kids to go back to school with, which they don't normally have, especially in poverty. And I do like outreach where I give every month, give it to the elderly people, giving them like food baskets and things like that. Dude said, oh, that's the local drug dealer can do that. I don't doubt that. But if the local drug dealer was doing it, then I wouldn't have to do it. But see, what the reason was, he wanted to discredit me or what I was saying. Like the things I be saying, he wanted to find a way to discredit me. That's what we do to each other, right? Instead of saying, hey, yo, man, I'm doing this. What are you doing? Maybe we can come together and do this together. Or if he thought what I was doing wasn't enough, he could have said, well, look, man, that's good what you're doing, but how about we step it up and do this? I'll join in with you. See, we don't get it ain't no talk like that. It's always trying to down somebody and diss somebody else for what they be doing. You might not think it's big enough, well then join with me and help me do it bigger then. Instead of trying to down me or discredit me because you don't like what I'm saying. I have worked with a lot of people, I don't like what they say or do, but that the cause is what we about. It ain't about what you like, what I'm talking about or not. This is my way of doing it. You don't like what I'm doing, then you find your way to do it better than me. And then I still team up with you and work with you to get it to the next level. See, that's the type of guy I am. I don't sit around and just criticize and knock people down for nothing. If I give you a criticism, I got a solution for you. It's up to you to want to take it. But you don't want to take it. You want to find a way to keep criticizing and downing me. It don't bother me. It's not going to stop nothing I'm doing. My life will still be the same, and I'm still going to make these videos. Well, why are you making videos and not where the people at? Well, we're in a new era, right? More people don't socialize like they used to. It ain't as easy to gather up black people like it used to be. So you got to reach them where you can. Then once you get them following you here, you can transfer them off of here into person. Until then, this is where it's going to be at. I've tried the other way around, and it's not a good turnout. It's very difficult to get black people to move. If you ain't never done it before, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you've done it before, you know exactly what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, man, I appreciate y'all listening. But I want to say this for Black History Month. I'm doing things differently. I'm no longer doing things the same. I'm being vulnerable with you. I'm being transparent with you. And I'm being authentic. What you see right here is what you're going to get if you ever meet me in person, the exact same thing. It's not going to be anything different. And I'm going to tell you the things that you might not want to hear. And I expect you to tell me something that I might not want to hear too. I don't want nobody kissing up. I don't need that. I need truth. Because how am I going to get better if you're going to keep lying to me? That's not how it works. Hey, look, y'all take care.